Christ is in our midst. Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics.
Christ is risen. We will say today for the last time. On May 24th, we commemorate the Apodosis of Pascha, that is the leave-taking, as well as St. Symeon the Stylite of the mountain and St. Vincent of Lerins, and St. Meletios, the commander and his companion martyrs. Regarding St. Symeon the Stylite of the mountain. St. Symeon the new Stylite was born in Antioch. John his father was from Edessa, and Martha his mother was from Antioch. From his childhood he was under the special guidance of St. John the Baptist and adopted an extremely ascetical way of life. He became a monk as a young man, and after living in the monastery for a while he ascended upon a pillar and abode upon it for 18 years. Then he came to the wondrous mountain and lived in a dry and rocky place, where after 10 years he mounted another pillar, on which he lived in great hardship for 45 years, working many miracles and being counted worthy of divine revelations. He reposed in 595 at the age of 85 years, 79 of which he had passed in asceticism. Thou became a pillar of patience and did emulate the forefathers, O righteous one, Job in his sufferings, Joseph in temptations, and the life of the bodiless while in the body, O Symeon, our righteous Father, intercede with Christ our God, that our souls be saved. Regarding St. Vincent of Lerins. St. Vincent was born in Toul in Gaul. He was the brother of St. Lupus, bishop of Troyes, who was a companion of St. Romanos of Auxerre. St. Vincent was the first soldier, then left the world to become a monk of the renowned monastery of Lerins, where he was also ordained priest. He is known for his Comminatorium, which he wrote as an aid to distinguish the true teaching of the Church from the confusion of heretics. His most memorable sayings is that Christians must follow that faith which has been believed everywhere, always, and by all. He wrote the Comminatorium about the year 434, 3 years after the Third Ecumenical Council in Ephesus, which he mentions in the Comminatorium and defends, calling the Holy Virgin Theotokos, she who gave birth to God, in opposition to the teaching of Nestorius, which were condemned at the Third Council. Without identifying by name Augustine, Bishop of Hippo, St. Vincent condemns his doctrine of grace and predestination, calling it heresy to teach of a certain great and special and altogether personal grace of God, which is given to the predestined elect, without any labor, without any effort, without any industry, even though they neither ask nor seek nor knock. St. John Cassian also thought this. St. John Cassian wrote his refutations before, and St. Vincent after the condemnation of Nestorius at the Third Council and the death of Augustine in 430. St. Vincent reposed in peace about the year 445. With wisdom thou hast made plain to all the Orthodox faith as that which alone has been believed and honored by all men, always and everywhere, also showing heresy to be innovation, groundless and unstable as a gust in a tempest. O Vincent, your invincible prayers shelter the Church of God. Christ is risen from the dead, by death trampling down upon death, and to those in the tombs he has granted life. Though you went down into the tomb, you destroyed Hades' power, and you rose the victor, Christ God, saying to the myrrh-bearing women, Hail, and granting peace to your disciples, you who raise up the fallen. Now, as we celebrate the Apodosis, the leave-taking of Pascha, it is treated as the same day. And so the readings do not necessarily reflect that, but are continuing on. From Acts of the Apostles. In those days when Paul had landed at Caesarea, he went up and greeted the church, and then went down to Antioch. After spending some time there, he departed and went from place to place through the region of Galatia and Phrygia, strengthening all the disciples. Now a Jew named Apollos, a native of Alexandria, came to Ephesus. He was an eloquent man, fully well versed in the Scriptures. He had been instructed in the ways of the Lord, and being fervent in the Spirit, he spoke and taught accurately the things concerning Jesus, though he knew only the baptism of John. He began to speak boldly in the synagogue. But when Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they took him and expounded to him the way of God more accurately. And when he wished to cross to Achaia, the brethren encouraged him, and wrote to the disciples to receive him. When he arrived, he greatly helped those who through grace had believed, for he powerfully confuted the Jews in public, showing by the Scriptures that Christ was Jesus. So again, we see the church growing and a new leader, a new disciple coming forward. The Gospel according to St. John. The Lord said to the Jews who came to him, "While you have the light, believe in the light, that you may become sons of light." When Jesus had said this, he departed and hid himself from them. Though he had done so many signs before them, yet they did not believe in him. It was that the word spoken by the prophet Isaiah might be fulfilled, "Lord, who has believed our report? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed?" Therefore they could not believe. For Isaiah said, "He has blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, lest they should see with their eyes and perceive with their hearts, and turn from me to heal them." Again, this is not that Christ has hardened their hearts, forcing them not to believe, but because they have not believed, because they have doubted in this way, they are not able to turn. Isaiah said this because he saw his glory and spoke of him. Nevertheless, many even of the authorities believed in him, but for fear of the Pharisees they did not confess it, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. And Jesus cried out and said, "He who believes in me believes not in me, but in him who sent me. And he who sees me sees him who sent me. I have come as light into the world, that whoever believes in me may not remain in darkness. If anyone hears my sayings and does not keep them, I do not judge him. For I did not come to judge the world, but to save the world." This is an appropriate reading and an ending point of the Apodosis of Pascha. As we've said, Christ is risen for the last time, for Christ came to save the world.
I hope that you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.